guess I'll get to it then. Well, would you look at that? The big two is finally here. Going from the leaks from last year to the Nintendo Direct, which leads to the launch. I got invited to a midnight event by a family member. It was an alright experience because of getting invited and seeing other people this late at night for a new console. Plus, I did my first ever in-person livestream while being in the dark and 360p zone.
Looks like bros in the duologue. Yeah, you can definitely put it like that.
I was originally on the fence about picking up a Switch 2 because of this not being out yet, but I was somewhat convinced to do so. So you can already put the pieces together of what happened after my wallet filed for bankruptcy. After unboxing it and getting memories of my original Nintendo Switch 1 unboxing.
Hey everyone, we're on 200 in, and today I'm going to be doing a little unboxing of the Nintendo Switch.
Geez, high school me sounded way different with braces. I had fun experiencing Mario Kart World's mechanics. The physics feel smooth and bouncy. Rail grinding and wall riding allow for neat tricks and shortcuts.
Good! Awesome! Outstanding! Amazing!
And Knockout Tour is the most chaotic racing mode in Mario Kart history. It's a fever dream of constantly speeding against 23 other players with no stop at all. Even when you get hit by an item, you still have momentum going. Similar to Mario Kart Double Dash's hit stun. Character roster is pretty solid with everyone getting updated designs. Still weird that the costumes are separate slots, even if it's a developed thing already. But hey, at least there's a Quack. The racetracks for the most part are good with their dynamic designs to show off your acrobatic skills. On top of all that, the variety of music is amazing too. It's a large mix of new ones and remixes of past series. Of course, the game itself has some, how could you say, odd flaws? Battle mode got shafted with having fewer modes compared to the last Mario Kart. The new items are alright, I guess, but I feel that special items from Double Dash and Tour would have spiced up the variety a bit more. Might be a hot take coming from me because of the possibility of there being 15 Bowser shells causing chaos, but hear me out. Make it a toggle switch for items. If that also came back too. Jeez, man. Anyways, as for the open world aspect being the main selling point, I like it quite a bit. The idea of having Mario's world design to freely roam around is fascinating. It works perfectly when mixed with Knockout Tour as we are racing on these large land masses with hazards and items flying everywhere. But you're really only required to do the free roam mode if you want to get stickers and collectibles, or other activities like doing the side missions and hanging out with the squad. Plus, it doesn't sometimes work well with normal racing. Rather than doing the normal number of laps, you have to drive to the next map, which will make it only one lap. This is especially common if you do online races and don't pick random, or pick a track that has a pre-picked designation. So it's not like the open world is a groundbreaking concept outside the racing aspect. Especially for this right here. And also because the bundle I got is only available till fall of this year. So those are absolute L's because fear of missing out is the plague. But besides those weird design choices, the game as a whole is good. However, something crossed my mind after shutting off my console and sleep for work in the morning. Was that worth it? And you may ask yourself, why have a question like that? Well, because even though I had a good time in general, I have this weird guilty feeling deep inside of me about purchasing this. Maybe it's more of a stronger effect because I wrote a script about a relatable point from my last video. And in that video, I mentioned Nintendo has been getting more criticism as of late because of setting a new price foundation for modern games. Of course, there are more reasons like the game keycards, terms of service, and other odd practices. But the pricing was the final straw for not only Nintendo fans, but also people in the gaming sphere in general. Which I don't blame anyone criticizing Nintendo for. Gaming as a whole I feel is in this weird guilty pleasure scenario as of now, because while I'm seeing those close to me, friends, and influencers getting the Switch 2, I still can't help to think to myself that my purchase could have a bad outcome. Maybe a majority of people don't think like that, but it's always an interesting thought process. I understand the viewpoint of those who can't pick up a Switch 2 now because of the pricing or not agreeing to Nintendo's current business practices, and that's okay to follow. I believe people who want to opt out of the Switch 2 as it is right now after launch is a respectable take. From my personal experience during the early days of the Switch 1 era, I don't remember ever having this weird guilty feeling. I was just vibing with Breath of the Wild while going through a slow time in high school. And yeah, it is only video games at the end of the day. But some people use gaming as a way to get happiness. And sometimes, I need that happiness. The Switch 2 makes me happy in some aspects because, don't get me wrong, even if seeing the bells and whistles of booting up a new console on day one while seeing people around me having a good time, sometimes I think to myself that maybe feeling guilty could mean something even more. Sup, thanks for hearing me out to my overall thoughts for the Switch 2's recent launch. Am I the odd one for thinking this as a guilty pleasure type of scenario? Please let me know in the comments. I would really like to hear other people's full opinions about my overall thoughts of this video, or anything related to the current gaming sphere as a whole. But that's enough for me. I hope all of you take care of yourselves, and as always, have a good one.